Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 42. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. That has quite a few announcements, actually from two CEOs this week, one from the Yieldnodes CEO and one from the Trillant. And it looks like both of them have plenty of things to say. Definitely there's a couple of plans that are being revealed now on where and how to go forward. On top of this, we're going to have a closer look to see how our links for the profit retriever robot is going. And Alex is also going to show how you can actually try and copy some of the best traders. So plenty of news as usual. Let's get started. We're going to start off here, not with the normal profits that we normally show at Yieldnodes because they are at the moment suspended. But we're going to get started straight into the email so that Steve sent out this particular week on how they're going to move forward. So I guess him and Urt have sat down and tried to figure out which way to go. And the first part here is proving the assets, 1 or 2 weeks. Basically it says here we're working with real third-party auditors to show that the claimed assets will be entered into the Decenomy ecosystem to clear up any doubt about its existence and what they'll be pegged against, basically what it will be up against here. Doing so will bring real assets value to the coins. We will also look for more partners to boost these assets up through the year to have a bigger asset value to peg against. So obviously, yes, they are on the hunt, they're on the lookout in order to make sure that their coins survive, and obviously also the investors. Now on top of this, it's quite an astonishing revelation here because reopening of emergency withdrawals could happen already in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's quite a bit of surprise. Anyway, it looks like they're going to plan it as an auction style here. So where you can go in and normally, as you know in Yieldnodes, it will be 25% off for emergency funds. Here you can basically pick up your own percent. So anything from 0 to 100 if you want to give it over to somebody else instead. At the moment, from what we understand, they need a bit of legal advice on how exactly to structure this. But that is apparently also coming. So there is light at the end of the tunnel for some of the people that really rely on the money that comes out of Yieldnodes, which is good news that they actually accept this. Now, the main part here is obviously the NFTs, the assets, and the timeline for this is what Urt and Steve is saying is about 5 to 6 months at the moment. So they will turn the Yieldnode balance into NFTs that can then be traded either in a custom marketplace or openly on, they are using now the company here, OpenSea, or other marketplaces. You can also store it in your wallet, making it eligible for profits and rewards coming out later on for real assets basically. So if you are in on any of these solar plants, you can then get a certain percentage, I guess, over time. So obviously something that we knew was coming in the future, but now it's coming in the form of NFTs instead, which obviously will be interesting to see how they're going to do this. They also emphasize here that please be aware that this will not be a picture of a cartoon ape. Yeah, we've seen some of those on the net for sure, but it's more like a certificate, so you actually own the assets and it will be linked together with a smart contract. So we're looking forward to this, of course, but this is still 5-6 months away, so early days. Now there will also be a possibility here for pegging the values against the NFT end of next year. That's what we've been understood all the time here, that this could take up to a year and basically exchange it over to NFTs, real tokenize the assets. Obviously we will have to see how that goes. You can still invest in the masternode pool also, so they're going to try and keep that one going. And obviously, hopefully before the end of the year, they will be able to stabilize a lot of the coins. We obviously going to have a look at the usual ones that we look at. And also Steve basically finishes off here so that he's very thankful and looking back on various business partners that are still supporting him. And obviously so do we. We definitely hope for the best. We know it's a very difficult situation, but there's only one way forward, and that is very hard work, unfortunately. Also, he's going to explain here a bit more that he's going to release and be a bit more open in the future. So release more videos in how the progression will go. And also reminds us here that we will still get some earnings. It will only be 5%. It will only be quarterly, but still it's earnings of the money that are currently in there and being tokenized and turned into NFTs. So time will tell, obviously, how this goes, and the next couple of months, I suspect, will be very, very important. So looking at the Sapphire coin and the shared masternoding on the iHost MN platform here, we can see that the return on the investment per year is pretty much on par with what it was last week, within 0.5%. This week we have made almost 2% on the shared masternoding, and overall coin development for SAPP is obviously not very good. Taking into consideration everything that has happened, it's not too bad. Obviously, we were up almost 700% when things were best. At the moment, we are down by minus 31 or almost 32%. And the graph looks like this. You can see it has dropped over the last couple of weeks since the news came out. But we have seen some retracements, we have seen some flattening of the curve, and you'll see that also on some of the other coins. If this is the bottom or this is just a pause, we don't really know yet. It's obviously too early to tell. Having a look at the PNY, we can also see here that the return on the investment is pretty stable. It's within 0.3% of what it was last week. So that, I guess, we can call stable enough. The shared masternoding, we did about 11% in the last week. And then we can also see here on the PNY that the overall coin development has actually been slightly positive. Yes, we are still in minus, but last week was the all-time low. This particular week we are a few percent up, so which is a good sign that maybe the worst is now over, but obviously a lot of work for the coins in the future. The graph looks like this. And again, it looks like it has flattened out. Let's hope so, and see what the future will bring for this coin too. Now, Birake, obviously being the exchange, there's a couple of things that are a bit different from the normal coins, but it has a similar pattern. As we can see here at the moment, return on the investment per year, still at 115%, so not much change since last week. We can also see that the shared masternoding is about 3.8%, which is similar to what we have from the previous weeks. Overall coin development, yes, for sure, it is also low, but we are still up by 30%. Obviously, we lost about 55% this particular week. The graph for this also looks like so, and it looks like the first drop has stopped. Then there's been some retracements, and again, looks like the curve could be flattening and we could have seen the bottom or maybe in the next couple of weeks. Now, if we look at Bitcoin versus USDT, then basically from we left it last week, it was at the same level this week here. Since then, it has been dropping just down to the low 18,000s, just to pop up close to the 20,000 mark, and then basically drop sideways, and now it's still trading just above the $19,000 mark. So it has a bit uneventful week for the Bitcoin itself. Elevate Pass has also been uneventful here. For profit for week 42, they're still not paying this one out, and as we mentioned before, we know this, but there's still opportunities within Elevate Pass, and they are paying out for all these crypto courses here. And also you have benefits of the CoinFriend portal, so you can still go and use all your advertising budget as part of this and get some of it back until the payouts will start again. We also have some news on the Trillant platform, and since the change, so from Birake over to the Trillant on the 24th of August, we have now seen more than 15,000 new members coming into this. And again, to remind you, this is actually for staking of the Trillant coins here. And you can do that either short term or long term. Obviously, we wanted to be in on the long term here, so for the 52 weeks. And in that particular long term, we also have the option to go in and stake at a higher value once the coin will be released officially. Right now it's still sitting at 10 cents. It's still locked until it's going to hit the exchange, and that's where we have a bit of positive news for everybody. Now, last week we also mentioned the roadmap on what is to come, and we mentioned that Q4 is going to be very, very busy time for the Trilliant platform itself, and the CEO has just confirmed this also through the Telegram apps where we get most of the information from. And what he's mentioning here now is the number one thing that we are really interested in is the Trillant, the marketplace, and basically says that this is going to be launched. It's going to be launched in the next couple of weeks. This will mean several hundred shops, point of acceptance will open in the next few weeks. Announcement of the exact date from here will go through the Telegram channels that we normally have. And there will also be a live conference within the next couple of weeks that will explain a bit more how everything is going to start. The second part, which we also look very much forward to, is the introduction of the exchanges. Obviously, we have Unique Exchange today, which was working together with Birake at the time. Now it looks like at least 2 third-party exchanges will also be included here, where now you can buy and sell your coins in the future, and they will announce also the names of the exchanges at the live conference. So that will be interesting enough to see which exchanges they have teamed up with here. The important part also is the bottom section here. It says when the issue of waiting times for payout will also be largely resolved. And obviously we know we have a payout issue at the moment left over from the Birake time with the Unique Exchange. And basically, when you can send your earned trillions, free trillions to the exchange and exchange them like you can on any other one, that will basically take care of the transaction times. And that will be a thing of the past, which is obviously what we are looking forward to here also. So that is definitely great news for a lot of people that seems to have delays in their payouts. And delay in the payouts will actually be for fiat withdrawals, because apparently this is not the first time we've seen this. A lot of members have gone back and gone into the banking system to complain about the Unique Exchange and the transfers here taking too long. And that has basically now led to an audit, so from some of these banks, and that means that all the fiat withdrawals has now been put on pause, unfortunately. And that basically have done that people have shot themselves in the foot. But again, this is not the first time we have seen this, unfortunately. But they will try and open it as soon there will be an official update. But this could definitely take weeks. In the meantime, they have then raised the withdrawal limit for Bitcoin. So from 0.15 up to 0.3. So basically doubling up. So at least that is the good part. Now, talking about all these coins and crypto, we have made a tutorial so that covers the Ledger Nano S Plus this particular week, and this is a highly detailed A to Z tutorial, both on where you can buy, what are the prices, what are the difference between the two major ledgers that you can get in here, and obviously also how to install the program, how to set everything up, how to transfer into the cold wallet, and also more importantly, how to transfer it back out into any exchange, because definitely as things are getting more and more difficult, even platforms like Trillant and Yieldnodes, we have seen that some of the payments has basically been blocked for weeks. And the best way to basically avoid all this is making sure that they pay directly into your cold wallet, and from there on you can then add it onto the exchange, only the amount that you need to transfer or exchange into different currencies afterwards. It is definitely the more secure way of doing this, so that you don't get blocked with any payments coming out of all these different platforms. Solar Farm 2 has also been a slightly bad week, definitely compared to last week. I think the TVL last week was dropped about 14%. This week we are down by 19%, so it continues to drop. And right now we are at only 14.2 BNB. Panels owned is up by 71. And then panel value, we have also lost about 3% of our panel value this week. Unfortunately, last week, I think we were up by 1% and the week before by 10. So this is obviously a bit of a hit for us this particular week. Exchange rate is still in the double digits only, not triple, so 77%, which is not too bad considering the history. If we look at the solar farm miner announcement, also we have mentioned the last couple of weeks that the Solar Play pre-sale will start now on the 21st. So if you are interested, definitely you can go in. More information can be found on our website, also with links to how exactly this works. Quick look at BNB versus USD, and basically it's a copy-paste. So from the Bitcoin graph here, it was trading around the $275 mark. Then it dropped down to the low 250s, only to bounce back up again to about 270. And right now it's trading at the same level. So as it was end of last week. So no major changes for this particular week. Solar Farm 1, also this week. Unfortunately, we are a bit down on this one. TVL down by 10%. And panels owned, we are up by 167, which is quite normal from week on week. Panel value, unfortunately, is down together with daily rewards by 4%. So definitely could have been a better week, but not a full-blown disaster. Solar versus BNB, that has definitely been on the downhill. So for the last almost 2 weeks. And we left it last week. Since then, there's been a big sell-off, as you can see here. So in the last couple of days, just before this news report, and that has dropped the coin even further down. We will have to see what happens when they come out with the new announcements and the moving forward with the solar project. AI marketing, well, we still don't have any news. It's 14 days in of October. But we do hear some rumors, and I have to emphasize again, this is only rumors. So I hear from various channels that they can see that AI marketing and the teams here, the websites have been updated with a lot of new technical software. And that obviously means that they are investing something on the website. It is still very much down at the moment. But it's a good indication that they might be working and focused on simply securing the site for the future and also getting more of all the data in-house. So we'll have to see. This is all rumors right now, but it was a good indicator that they are definitely not left yet. The next update will be on 1st of November, but we don't really put too much emphasis on this anymore. It has been delayed quite a few times, but we hope obviously that something will come out at one of these meetings very, very soon, where we'll get a deadline for what's going to come in the future. We have all our robots on the Profit Retriever. You can still find them on our website. Everything seems to be working quite nice. We can also see that most of the Forex markets are coming down a bit again, even the British pound at the moment. And we have seen the 5 best this particular week has definitely done very, very well. We can see that the silver is back on top with 17.1%. Gold is following closely after with 10.2%. Euro USD continues to do extremely well week on week and at 9.1%. And then you can see the 2 bottom ones, the British pounds Japanese and the British pounds USD, has also been in the mix, definitely with the volatility we have seen on the coins here at 3.1%. So overall, the top 5 EAs made $4,265 in the last week, or managed 8.5%. Definitely this is the normal range that we are used to. We have decreased our lot sizes quite a bit. We have increased the grid size also to make sure that all the linking service here is also becoming safe and definitely stable over time. You can find more on this on our website. As usual, we cover both the Profit Retriever itself with all our trading And we also cover the copy link trading, which we believe is a very, very good idea that Alex has set up here. And also there is a few new things coming into it. This is just an indicator of basically showing you here how many is actually on the links. These are our links at the moment, or at least some of them. And we can see that there's more than 584 live links, and demo links there's even more. So you can obviously set it up with a demo account until you are more sure of the signals, more sure of how exactly the profit retriever trades. It's a good way to get into trading and start understanding what is actually happening. There's plenty of good trading signals in here, so ours is just one of many. Now Alex has also released a few videos this particular week. He's released quite a few. We have a selection of them here, and there's a new setting that came out over the weekend. So for the profit retriever robot, it's now 1.4, and that is a new pause button. Basically it can stop all the trading. Normally it is a continuous trading robot. But if you are uncertain about the markets, or you simply want the robot to stop once the trading is finished, you have obviously always had the opportunity to do it manually. Now there's a special pause button, so when the last trade closes, then it won't start again. So obviously a good thing to have in there if you are uncertain or moving into uncertain market conditions. 852% returns. This was actually the trading competition that has now finished. So that is a fairly good return over time. And there's a lot of winning prizes for the top ones in here. We were in there in the beginning. We did do some experimentals. So with our settings, they all blew up. And we decided that we're just going to focus on the normal ones. And as you can see, even our silver has produced on very low settings, more than 300% now. So it is definitely possible. If you want to get 850%, it is still obviously quite a lot of risk. But if you manage it and you control it very closely as one of only few robots, that is definitely a way to go. Also, if you want to do this yourself and you want to spy on the winners on this competition or anyone in the link service here, then Alex has just released a video on how you can do this, how you can actually find the settings, how you can interpret how the traders are doing it, and find some of the more important settings here. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report, as you can see, and hope that there is a bit more positive news coming all our way at the moment. And definitely we're looking forward to hopefully have even more positive news next week, where I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.